Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee. In this show, we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. I am joined today on the show by the ever-friendly, always elusive Mr. Patrick McGahee.
Yo.
All right, guys. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about today, especially in regards to some news that came out of D23 last night. But first, before we get to that news, the main thing Patrick and I are going to talk about here is the second season of X-Men 97. The last episode came out this last week on Disney Plus. 9 episodes altogether on this season. Patrick, what are your general thoughts on season 2, X-Men 97?
I'd hate to be a new viewer.
I hate to be new. So you obviously you like season 1 better.
No, I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's like, especially if you're just a casual X-Men movie viewer, it's like there's a lot to drop on your plate there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's so with this season 2, it was the same problem I had with last season. Was they move so fast. They go through so much and so many storylines, especially, given the fact that, as a longtime X-Men reader, I know kind of the stories they're picking from, and they're like,
Stuff's kind of getting out of order a little bit.
It's out of order and also just so rushed. Like with going back to season 1, you had the whole Madeline Pryor episode, the Goblin Queen episode, and the stuff with Cable and all that other stuff, or Nathan as a baby getting the technovirus, and it was all one episode.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this should have been at least 3 episodes instead of 1,
Yeah.
And
I mean, they've already got the new X-Men costumes and stuff like that, and we still haven't seen Onslaught.
one of those things I said too was, they're in their Grant Morrison new X-Men costumes. That was early 2000. That wasn't 90s.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, I figure that's what they're gonna keep doing, because they said they've got like seasons and seasons planned, because they're gonna keep going forward. So
yeah, exactly. And it's just, I know they need to keep moving forward, but like you said, they're going to do Onslaught at some point, but yet they haven't, and I'm curious how that's going to go, especially with Magneto gone now. I mean, do you think we're going to get a Joseph maybe before we get Magneto coming back?
yeah, I mean, I could see them probably doing their own kind of version of Onslaught, maybe building up almost their entire series up to that point.
Yeah,
like that.
But again, even with this season, they put so much. Okay, because we had like Apocalypse in there, we had X-Corp in here, we had X-Factor, X-Force. We had Gambit's resurrection. In only 9 episodes, they went through like 6 storylines.
Yeah,
and it's just so jam packed. I don't know, but season 1 seemed to flow better. I feel like it had a cohesive narrative, where this one was less cohesive. Because we're jumping around from Apocalypse, X-Force, Wolverine and Weapon X, then to...
They were saying that they kind of were reflecting the 90s X-Men again, where they were separated into 2 different teams and everything.
Yeah, and there was the school team, but again, we didn't even see
Blue.
You had X-Corp, and then you had the other team, which we barely saw, because you had Beast, Rogue, Jean, Scott, or whatever, they were part of X-Corp.
Well, there was more story to tell with one team than the other. So
yeah, it just seemed, again, it was all just kind of jumbled is what it was. And I wish they would just not try to tell so much and slow down. And like I said, season 1 did have a little bit of that problem, but I think season 1 was very much more cohesive about telling that. Like once you get to episode like 5 or 6, I think it is, after the Genosha episode, it was all like 4 episodes of just one cohesive storyline. You knew exactly it was a through line, no problem. With this, it was just jumping around too much.
I just don't think you're used to it, because I think this season's a lot more like the old one and everything, because that's how it was. I mean, it was like bang, bang, bang.
I agree. Okay, I'll agree with you on that. I agree with it. It was like that in the 90s animated series, where they did seem to jump around, but at least they had the Phoenix Saga was 5 episodes, all together, and you didn't take a break in the middle of a storyline to go tell a separate story,
Yeah, well, I feel like part of the reason that worked so well is because they did release it weekly, as opposed to one episode every couple weeks or something like that, just spread out or all at once or something like that, where it would seem like it's a lot, but it's like, I've always said I've liked the TV shows like weekly like that, just so you can digest them more.
I agree. I completely agree with that. It's what was I going to say? It's one of those where I think too, maybe the smaller doses of story maybe has something to do with, like, say, trying to catch the attention of more like a Gen Z, where their
attention
spans are a little shorter than maybe older audiences, so they're really trying to, like, speed everything up so they don't get bored. I guess with some things, it's a possibility. I can see it. But even that, it's like the story itself. Let's nail down what exactly story they were trying to tell this season, because it started off with they were centering around Apocalypse, and the season does center around Apocalypse, but we had Apocalypse where he's in the future, he's in the past. The X-Men of the past are trying to stop him from becoming who he is. The X-Men of the future are just trying to save Nathan, I guess, or try not to screw it up to where he won't become Cable, I guess. So then they get back to the present, and Xavier forms X-Corp, much to the dismay of the American government. Okay. And then they're fighting kind of that a little bit. Then they find Apocalypse in the present, and that he's taken over Gambit's dead body. Okay. So then they have to try to stop Apocalypse, aka Gambit, while trying to resurrect Gambit. And they, of course, accomplish it.
You sound like Dad trying to explain a sci-fi plot right now.
But that's how it is. Okay. You explain to me the end of this. Tell me the plot of season 2 of X-Men 97.
It's X-Men versus Apocalypse in the past and the present.
For like 2 episodes.
Oh, it strains over the whole season.
But it wasn't like they're not fighting Apocalypse. They're resurrecting Gambit. It felt like. It seemed like Cable was the one who wanted.
They were all out fighting Apocalypse Gambit at the end.
And I guess maybe that's the part I didn't like, because in the comic,
I didn't like that.
In the comic, Gambit becomes a horseman of Apocalypse, and that's what it was. I didn't like that they weren't fighting Apocalypse; they were fighting Gambit.
Yeah, and also he wasn't dead in the comics. I don't think he was just
he wasn't dead when he chose it. Yeah, he was just kind of a down in his luck, guy who was like, well, maybe Apocalypse is right, and then he goes and he volunteers to become a horseman, and of course regrets it. Right. In the comics is what happens.
I would like to have seen maybe it got a little more personal with Warren Worthington, Archangel, and everything.
Yeah.
Basically, he was the first, of the X-Men.
The first of the X-Men, yeah, exactly. I mean, there are others, like, because Polaris was a horseman, Sunfire was a horseman.
I feel like half the X-Men have been horsemen.
Wolverine was a horseman. Yeah, so like
Hulk was a horseman.
there have been several Marvel characters / X-Men who were horsemen of Apocalypse, and again, that's something I feel like they could have dived in a little more, especially in this season when you had Polaris as kind of a main character, more than she normally is.
Yeah, why wouldn't he control 4 of them?
Yeah, well, she has that crisis of faith when she leaves X Factor. I would much rather see go towards Apocalypse rather than go back to Xavier.
If they'll have Polaris in the live action.
Huh?
I think they'll have Polaris in the live action.
The only time we've seen her live action was in that show, The Gifted.
Because she is the real daughter of Magneto.
She is, yeah,
right?
Exactly. She's the 3rd child of Magneto.
Because right now in the comics, everything, Wanda and Pietro aren't Magneto's kids, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
I'm not too sure. Because I know they were talking about having them be adopted at some point or something like that, saying that they're not blood related to Magneto or something.
I'm not sure, because I know.
But it's like, dang, Pietro looks just like Magneto.
Right, I know. They can't do that. I know. It's something where I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what they're going to do. But I'm just saying they could have. I would mention if they would have taken her and Gambit and maybe another character like Sunfire or something like that and made them horsemen with Apocalypse, then fighting the X-Men, I feel like it would have been a better story, because I felt too like the stakes were more personal, I guess, in the first season.
Yeah. I think one thing that they really could have tied in Wolverine's little backstory that he was going through with like the Weapon X thing and everything. They could have tied that in, have Apocalypse taking control of him, just like Weapon X was taking control, and then they tied that together. And
well, and that's the thing too, because remember, because in the comics, okay, Angel Warren's wings get ripped off during the massacre, whatever, right? And that's why he goes to Apocalypse to get his wings back, and he becomes a horseman that way, right? Mm-hmm. And it would have been nice because I hated how, again, they rushed through Wolverine's journey, because in the comics it took him years and years to get his adamantium back.
Right.
Here they did it in 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like watching Spider-Man Brand New Day. Hey, that's a storyline that stretched a good 5 years in the comics. Here, a whole in one movie.
Here's it all in 1 hour. Yes, and yeah, exactly. I think there was no personal journey. I think it was just like, well, we got to give it back to him. Okay, well, here it is. Boom. He didn't earn it, I guess you would say, in my opinion. And I think it would have been nice if since Wolverine at one time was a horseman, what if he would have went to Apocalypse to get his adamantium back? Again, he turns into a horseman. There's one more X-Men horseman for the X-Men to fight.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, a lot of the stuff Wolverine was going through could easily tied in.
Yeah, exactly. And again, people have complained, especially in their first season, about how they felt like Wolverine kind of took like a back seat. Versus, I think it's just because so many people are used to.
That's one thing that people need to start get used to. I mean, especially like in the movies, because Wolverine will be a part of it, but it's like you've always said, he's not the leader of X-Men.
There's no X-Men storylines that I can think of that revolve around Wolverine, except for like. There's when they first. I remember
because he's always had his own title.
Well, he's always had exactly, and that's the thing too. He's always had his own title, but like stuff that happens to the X-Men are usually centered around like Scott and Jean, or Professor X and Magneto, or or some other characters that everyone else is kind of playing along almost on the side is what it is. So
and he is kind of like he's the mutant version of Spider-Man, where he's like he appears in like 5 other books in a month. Yeah,
right. Between Wolverine, Spider-Man, and
he's in the new Avengers team.
yeah, I was going to say Spider-Man, Deadpool, and Wolverine. I remember there are times where each of them appeared in like every book.
Oh, yeah,
like when the Deadpool movie came out, Deadpool was in everything. When X-Men came out, Wolverine was in everything. When Spider-Man movies were big, Spider-Man was in everything, I
vaguely remember an interview with Stan Lee back in the day where he talked about when they were inventing Spider-Man and everything, what they were going to do with the character. And he was like, we can make this the flagship character. And from there, it just kind of went on to, him appearing in like 2-3 different books and everything. And it's just like, it started there, it's like, oh, we could cross over the characters.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I love too, about the MCU is them crossing over like that. That's what Kevin Feige had envisioned, having read comic books. And he's like, the neat thing is how all the characters can appear in the other comic books. That's kind of the nice thing about having that shared universe.
Yeah, not to go too far off topic, but what do you think about that Star Wars Marvel?
The thing is, it's a 5-issue miniseries by Kevin Smith. And I'm like, okay, it's going to be just a little fun play with kind of thing, kind of like
a jaunt, yes,
kind of like Star Wars Visions, right? Yeah. The anime, right? It's taking the Star Wars universe and playing with it, but it's not canon.
Yeah, I know it's not canon for either universe.
Yeah,
but it's always been a thing where it's like there's been rumors for years. I don't know if they're going to incorporate that or not, where they're trying to say that Star Wars was kind of like the future Marvel and everything, like in house, like that's eventually. Marvel Universe will become Star Wars. That's always been a big theory. So it's all like
Star Wars is in the past, though. Star Wars is a long time ago.
Star Wars is in a galaxy far, far away.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, but from what point?
I don't know. That's tough topic.
First of all, they're crossing over now, so it's all like it can't be a long time ago because it's now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing that really if it would have been anyone besides maybe if it's Kevin Smith doing it. If it was a writer who was, I don't know, not one of a writer whose work I enjoy, I'd have brushed it off, right?
Yeah.
If it was like,
Did you read the Jay and Silent Bob one?
Yeah, I did.
That was such a fun comic.
They're coming out with more of them too.
Are they?
Yeah, it is San Diego Comic-Con panel, is whatever. He said he's going to do a couple more of them too.
Okay, that's
So
cool.
that'll be fun.
I
Yeah.
like it.
And again, it's just something fun. Like I said, it's not in canon. It's just fun to read.
I like it. I read somebody's comment. They said that, boy, they should do an ongoing Star Wars and Marvel and everything instead of a miniseries. I'm like, whoa! I started thinking about that. What if they create their own little universe and everything, and
What do you mean?
like keep it going on and ongoing instead of a miniseries?
Oh, you mean like I have a Marvel Star Wars ongoing?
Yeah.
Miniseries are usually testing the waters. Usually, there are many miniseries that came off very successful, and then of course they kept doing them.
I mean, Alien versus Predator, that was a big one that started off as just like a comic book crossover.
Yeah. I mean, they have what is it? The Batman White Knight or whatever. They've done so many of those now.
Yeah.
From that first one,
I've got the first issue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, you never know. I mean, but like I said, it's not part of the normal Marvel 616. It's just something to play with, and that's I'm fine with it. As long as it doesn't affect the canon of Star Wars or the canon of Marvel,
do that.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, it's like these, Godzilla, Marvel, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, just like maybe there's a world full of mutants out there in Star Wars or something like that.
It's full of aliens. They're all mutants. What are you talking about?
Or what the definition is of a mutant in Star Wars.
Yeah, I think a mutant. If we define it, I'd say a mutant should be someone who's on Earth, right? Because otherwise, you're just an alien.
All I know is we're definitely going to see like a Han Solo versus Wolverine or a Luke Skywalker versus Spider-Man thing going on.
Yeah.
They got to fight somewhat.
I would like to see. Okay, since we're talking about it now,
Beast versus Chewie.
I'm trying to see who would be a good fight against each other. I think. Give me a
Jean Grey versus Prince Leia.
Well, Jean Grey would wipe the floor with Princess Leia.
I don't know. She's got the Force, man. She's got the Force.
Phoenix, come on now, Phoenix. All right, that's all I gotta say. I mean, I would almost think like if I go off the top of my head, I'd be like, give me a fully trained Obi-Wan or a fully trained like Anakin. Like say Episode 3, Obi-Wan or Anakin versus like say Captain America. Because I think skill wise, they all know how to fight. They all can like think on their feet. I think that'd be a pretty good fight.
All I can say is it's close to December, so let's get the Darth Vader versus Doctor Doom.
I thought about that too. That's something I thought about too. Yeah, I mean they're both in masks, hiding their true face. I could definitely
they're both deformed.
I could see that. What about a Thanos versus the Emperor?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean that could be something. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's something to play with. It's something fun.
There's endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities. And again, as long as it's outside the regular canon, I'm fine with it. So cool. All right, so back. Let's continue 97. Just kind of wrap this all up. Now that we've gotten because the NTs of 97 was Mystique, right? Mm-hmm. Where she's kind of going to. Do you think she's taking over for Val Cooper, or she has taken over for Val Cooper?
She's probably been there a while. I mean, Mystique hasn't really been part of the series at all, and she was like such a prominent character in the live action, so they probably got to do something with her.
That reasoning is horrible to me. So that's what I was talking about. How much they ruined those prequels
because they didn't announce a Mystique in the live action.
Yeah, and you see today online, people are pissed that what's her name from Obsession is not playing Mystique but playing Rogue because so many people wanted that girl from Alien Romulus to play Rogue.
Yeah, I seen that.
And I was like, dude, just get over yourself. Okay.
Yeah, she's going to kill it regardless.
Yeah, she's going to be great. I'm sure she is. So, but kind of see, because I think at the end of season 1 of 97, you saw they were going all in on Apocalypse. And I guess I'm curious, what are they going in on for season 3? I don't see the full setup for season 3 versus I saw what they were doing at the end of season 1 going into season 2.
I mean, they even had one episode of Cerebro and everything. What was it? Was it called Cerebro?
Yeah, the one where Danger. Yeah. Cerebra became Danger, and again, that's from
Cerebro became Danger, and then they created Cerebra.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then that's from Joss Whedon's Astonishing X-Men run, which is again mid 2000s for that. And again, they just put so much in there, is what it is. So here's a question I'm going to ask you too. So infamously, at the end of season 1, the showrunner for season 1 was Bo DeMeo. Famously got fired for inappropriate behavior, inappropriate things said, whatever. and people are said, well, this guy made season 1, did a really good job. Is the series going to suffer because this guy is no longer there? I'm not saying he shouldn't have been fired. If he did what he did, he totally should have been fired. But it did feel like when you look at season 1 versus season 2, one showrunner versus him not being there,
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of a shakeup, but I mean, I don't think it really affected it too much.
I think again, to me, the main thing is
I think it was just a disagreement between like story choices and stuff like that. I don't think it was like, oh, I don't like you or something like that. And
it's just, to me, like, again, the main thing about this show is as much as I love season 1, and to me, season 2 just felt like a downstep. But it's a downstep for me because I feel like they were trying to do too much. I feel like they need to slow down and just like not try to fill every season with, again, 5 or 6 different storylines.
Yeah.
In them,
I think part of that too is they don't know how much time they have.
Well, I mean, they're planning it out. They said they want to do like 5 or 6. Like they've already planned, I know, through season 4 at least.
Yeah.
And then some. So, which I don't get. What I think they should do, though, I know that this is going to be probably problematic, but if they start out with X-Men 97, the season 2 should have been X-Men 98. Season 3 should be X-Men 99, because then you can do, okay, well, what was the storyline around 1999 in X-Men? Okay, we'll run with that,
Yeah.
That'll be 8 episodes. Boom, we'll run with that storyline.
Or what if they like started taking just like, instead of years, they just say like issues or something like that. This is X-Men number 200. And then it'll just be like, their version of what X-Men 200 and the events around that time is and everything.
There's a series, I forget what the series is, but like it's chapters. Like you had season 1 was like, say, chapter 1 through 13. And then season 2 was like chapter 14. Then each episode was like a chapter throughout the whole series,
Okay.
Is what it was. So like, say if you had X-Men 97, you start off with episode 1 would be issue 1, and then you get to episode 8, you're on issue 8, and something like that. That's what series is that? There's series. Well, I know like Avatar and Korra, they do like book, Air chapter 2 or whatever, So book 2, chapter 2, or something like that. But anyway,
choose your own adventure. Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, season 2, I think it was just a downstep. Didn't enjoy it as much. Obviously, I'm going to keep watching because I'm an X-Men fan, and I still enjoyed it.
It was a Spider-Man character that appeared at the end.
Dr. Octopus.
Dr. Octopus.
Morph turned into Dr. Octopus for a couple minutes at the end there. I will say this, though, too. The winner of season 2, the character winner for season 2, was Jubilee.
Yeah.
Jubilee, like that episode where she was in the X-Force and she had to escape. And then the final episode, too, when she was facing off against Havoc in the Jets as well, she definitely showed people more than what they thought about her.
Yeah, I mean, it made her step up more.
Yeah, exactly.
But also at the same time, I'm like, man, this should have been Kitty Pryde.
Well, now you're going back to the original X-Men 90s animated.
I mean, that's what Jubilee pretty much was like, Kitty Pryde.
Now that you're saying, well, it was the next kid for Wolverine to take under his wing, is what it was. Yeah, Kitty Pryde was growing up. They had to get a new kid, so then they put Jubilee. Then
they got Colossus in there, so I'm like, come on.
It's funny that you mentioned it because they have not put Kitty in any of these X-Men animated.
No,
I mean in this series, she's in the other series like X-Men Evolution, but she's not in X-Men 97 or the original animated series. I think maybe because they started off with Jubilee, and Jubilee fills that role. Like, well, we don't really need to put Kitty in here because we already have Jubilee.
We've already got one Jewish girl now.
We've already got some young girl that Wolverine can save and blah blah blah. I totally get it too. Plus, Jubilee's character herself was such a representation of the 90s as well.
Right. And she was more of the 80s.
Yeah, well, so she was, she hangs out at a mall. She likes to rollerblade, all that stuff. So she's the perfect character to represent that time frame in that sense. So, but X-Men 97, what did you guys think of it? I think we were both maybe a little disappointed compared to season 1. We thought it's still watchable as comic book fans, but fire back, guys. Let us know what you think. So now we jump over from one X-Men topic to another. last night's D23, they had their big presentation showing us all the stuff. I know you were watching about Coco 2 and Frozen 3 because I know you love your Frozen, right, Patrick?
Frozen Coke.
Frozen Coke. Okay, either way, they did all. And again, like I told you, I was trying to stay up late because I'm old and I want to go to bed early. My favorite thing about weekends is how I get to sleep in. Like I go to bed at the regular time I do on the weekdays, and I just sleep a little later. That's what I like to do on the weekends. So it was getting late for me, but I tried to stay up, and I was able to stay up till the end where they got to the Marvel panel with all that. They showed us before we get into X-Men. They showed us the trailer for Vision Quest and a new trailer for Doomsday. What are your thoughts on those?
Looks good. I mean,
dynamite commentary there, Monty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say about it. I mean, it looks good.
I think the Doomsday trailer was better than the first one they gave us because this one was definitely centered around Doom, and we got more of a sense of the danger of Doom. Like, we saw kind of, again, what's her name? Invisible Woman was talking about him and about his life and who he is.
We got more story details. We actually found out that he's tied to Fantastic Four now.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's going to be a good thing. And just, again, you saw more of what he's going to do to the Marvel characters. And when Reed was like, Victor, did you do this? Did you do this? And they're sitting in a wasteland.
So did you hear the rumor about where that wasteland is taking place?
Is it the X-Men universe?
Rumor is it's Tobey Maguire's universe.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why he supposedly has a big part in the movie. So
okay, yeah, I figured that's what they're going to do. They're going to go through. I see this movie and Secret Wars as a way of them of cleaning up not only the multiverse within the MCU, but all the other multiverses. I'm talking like I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Ben Affleck Daredevil or Eric Bana Hulk or freaking Thomas Jane's Punisher. Cleaning up all the loose little characters from all the Marvel
let's
years.
See the Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man.
I mean, Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider, all that stuff,
I mean, that'll probably be in the Ghost Rider movie, I imagine.
Yeah, well, I can just see him kind of like clearing that, be like, hey, remember all these Marvel movies we did before we were the MCU? They're all wiped out.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. I would love to see a new Howard the Duck movie. I'm not going to lie.
Not the movie, just get like the original one meeting the new one or something like that.
if you give me a Howard the Duck as we have him from Guardians, voiced by Seth Green, give me some space adventures, throw in a couple, or even if he joins a new Guardians team.
Yeah. That would fit for Guardians.
That would be awesome.
Again, that's another thing that was missing. Where are the Guardians?
I think when we go Secret Wars, we'll see the Guardians. I don't think we're going to see him. Doomsday, I think we're still on Earth. I think once the multiverses start getting torn apart, the Guardians are going to be like, hey, what's going on out here? With that. So
yeah, I heard it's supposed to be. I mean, in the comics, Secret Wars was like a life raft spaceship. Yeah, but they said that it's just supposed to be like a group of people. I guess there's not going to be like a ship or anything, but it's just
like a
group of survivors.
I get it. I could do that. So cool. Vision Quest. Did you watch Agatha all along?
Yes.
You didn't like it though, right?
I even got the Blu-rays.
Okay, I thought it was okay. I can see because this is supposed to be the third part of the trilogy. Is what it is, right? And obviously from
they make it seem like it was supposed to be a trilogy all along. No, I don't think so. I think it was supposed to be really different after WandaVision.
Yeah, I think they kind of took a turn a little bit after WandaVision. Whether that's a reaction to Doctor Strange, yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know what it is, but yeah, I mean it's okay. I'm looking forward to it. I think Paul Bettany's great. David J. Spader.
This will be our chance for Ultron to return and everything.
Yeah, I think again.
After this will probably be more of a staple.
I think we're we got the twins, Wiccan and Speed. They're going to be full-fledged MCU members. I think after this, I think Wanda's coming back.
Yeah, I think it's only supposed to be Speed. The other brother, it's supposed to be in this one since Wiccan was in one.
Well, yeah, I think so too. But at the end of Wiccan. Or the end of Agatha is when Wiccan and I think a ghost Agatha, maybe, they decide to go out and look for his brother.
Yeah.
So I can see them popping up at the end. I don't think it's that they're going to be in all of the show. I think I can see them like the last or maybe second to last episode, they pop in there to basically get the family back together.
Yeah, because I was just reading the other day that they're talking about how the Young Avengers project's kind of dead, but they said they might go for Champions which is kind of another name they go under.
Yeah, this is true. I think, again, like I said, I think those characters are getting too old to be called Young Avengers anymore.
That's why they said champions.
Yeah, champion, which is fine. I totally like that idea. So I'm fine with that.
Or new warriors. How about new warriors?
New warriors. Dude, remember when I was young, you know what character I loved? Speedball.
Speedball.
I don't know what it is, man. I liked that character when I was younger. I don't know, it's just because he was young and blonde hair.
Character would have fit right in a Brand New Day. That was his first appearance was in Spider-Man. So
yeah, exactly. So, okay, let's move on to the big announcement. We finally got confirmation last night that X-Men is coming. We're getting it May 5th, 2028, directed by the guy who did Thunderbolts. Jake Schreier is the director's name. He directed Thunderbolts. He's going to be directing X-Men now. And then, of course, we got cast members. Okay, obviously, Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. They already announced Kit Connor as Cyclops. They already announced what's her name as White Queen. Samara Weaving, is that her name? Samara Weaving as Emma Frost, Jean Grey. We just got, like, the day before or the day of is when we got confirmation that what's his name, Chris Abbott, is going to be Charles Xavier.
Who is that?
So he's an actor. I've seen him in several things. He's had like small roles in several things before. He's a pretty good actor. So I'm like, okay, I can see that.
That's odd that they came out with Professor X, but no Magneto.
Yeah, which makes me think, are we not going to get Magneto yet?
Or is he going to be teased at the end?
I think it'd be teased at the end. I think too, because I think I like that because Magneto is. We've already seen Magneto in previous X-Men movies so much, and I was so mad. Like when X-Men Apocalypse was done, and they teased Sinister at the end of that, and they didn't do Sinister as the next one. They went back to Dark Phoenix. Mm-hmm. For that one, I was man. They could have done Sinister so good.
What was it? Deadpool 2, I think it was. They had the doctor at the hospital or whatever. His name was Nathaniel Essex or something.
I think something like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's New Mutants. It was run by Essex.
Okay.
That was basically you found out that the doctor that was there was working for Nathan Essex. Okay. Is what it was. That was New Mutants. Yeah, exactly. For that too. So that's cool. So we got so Chris Abbott is going to be Professor Xavier. We got Maya Boyd as Storm. Now that's probably out of all the whole cast, I'm least familiar with that actress. I guess she's a big Broadway star. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And like I saw videos of her on Twitter this morning. Girl's got a voice, and like I think people who know her know she's good, which is great because I like taking someone that we know is talented and put him in there, even if they're unknown. Great. Everyone who knows her says she's talented, and that's all we want. And for the character, right? And then tell me her name from Obsession. How do you say it?
I don't know how to say her last name, but it's Indy.
Indy Navarrete, maybe? Navarrete? Okay, she has been cast as Rogue in the film. A lot of people were speculating she might be.
There's so many people upset. They're like, she already had a comic book role. What is she doing?
I'm sorry. Do we know who Ryan Reynolds is? I mean, come on now. It's weird. Yeah, but Chris Evans, hello. Whatever. So she's cast as Rogue in this. She's going to be playing Rogue. And then, of course, at the end, we found out that Adam Driver is going to be playing Mr. Sinister, otherwise known as Nathan. What's his name? How do you say his last name? It was something different. So
is it Essex?
No, it's not Essex. It's a different one. Hold on. I messaged it to my friends earlier. So the name he said was Nathan Milbury. So, and I remember that name. I was like, why is it's not the right one? But basically, Milbury is the name of the orphanage that Scott went to that was run by Mr. Sinister. So that's why it is. So again, we all think that this new set of X-Men films are going to be centered around Scott and Jean. This kind of helps confirm it, I guess, a little bit. If he's going by that name, maybe they're referencing the orphanage, they're referencing where Scott came from, and all that storyline in there is what it is. So that was our X-Men cast that we got. I think still there's going to be more to come that they're going to announce, but that's kind of what we got so far.
Yeah, especially since until then it was like the big rumor was they're going to center around the 5 original X-Men. So it's all like, who are these people?
Yeah, exactly. I think we're still going to get Beast at least, because Beast has been definitely talked about a lot in the last month or so. I think we're still going to get Beast at least as far, because right now And here's the way I see it, okay? You have Storm, Jean, Scott, Rogue are all younger, right? Then you have Sinister, Emma, and Xavier who are a little older, okay? So kind of in my mind, what are we trying to do based on the characters and their ages? And I know that, Xavier has his school in the comics. Emma at one point has her school in the comics, and Sinister has his orphanage in the comics. So I think you're going to have three different groups of schools or people trying to recruit these younger mutants for their benefit.
I don't know. You got Emma Frost though. More than likely, you're gonna have Hellfire in there somewhere.
Well, it depends on what they go with because yes, she was introduced in Hellfire, but right after Hellfire, when she tried to make a school, and like most of her,
She's involved with Hellfire almost the entire time of her character.
Yes, but not actually a member, like an active member in Hellfire. She was only part of like a bad guy for maybe a decade or so, and then ever since that, she's been considered a good guy. Granted,
decade. This Hellfire was around since what, the late 70s, and
it was 70s, yeah.
And then she became an X-Men in 2000s.
No, she became an X-Men.
It wasn't the 90s.
Generation X.
Generation X.
She and Banshee led Generation X.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And before that
was late 90s.
no, that was like mid 90s because they were around during Onslaught. Okay, but anyway, before that is when she tried to have a school. She had to have her own school, and at several points, like even in the comics now, she's trying to start her own school as well too. So I think we're going to have these three fractions of people each trying to recruit young mutants to their school or to their side. Is kind of based on. Then I'm sure I'm totally off, but based on who we've got, who their roles are, and their ages.
Regardless, they're all coming for Spider-Man because he made those mutant collars.
I so would, right? I tell you what, you know what I thought about? I was out doing yard work this morning, and I thought about this because when they announced Samara Weaving, and people were talking about Cyclops has a relationship with both Jean and Emma Frost, and I'm like, but okay, the guy who plays Cyclops is like early 20s, Samara Weaving's like mid 30s, and I'm like, all right, we're doing some grooming here.
Yeah,
we're gonna do some grooming, eh?
Grooming. He's in his 20s,
but still, there's like a 12 year age difference. Is all I'm saying.
That's like, what's the difference between grooming and influencing? I guess at that point.
Well, I'm just saying there's a little bit of Mrs. Robinson going on, okay?
Oh yeah, more power to him, dude.
But honestly,
I think that would be a great threesome going on. I mean, not threesome, but like three-way
that
relationship. That
would be a great one.
It's all like Scott's got the younger girl, and then he's also kind of interested in older girls.
I like that, yeah, and that's what I'm saying too. I think they could play off that. And that's the thing, though. It's like number one in X-Men, it's always Jean and Scott. It always comes back to that. Yes, for a while there, Scott was with Emma, mainly because Jean was gone, is what it was.
Oh, starting out, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He had a flirtation with Emma. He was confused. Jean died, so then he continued his relationship with Emma. Jean came back, and he pretty much dumped Emma, is what happened in that.
What? I thought, no, because she came back, and then it was all like they found out that him and Jean weren't really compatible anymore, and so he stayed with Emma for a little bit longer, and then they broke up.
So let's rewind the time frame, okay?
Because he didn't get back with her, did he?
Okay, so go back. We're gonna go back to the 12 where it all started. Okay, the 12 is where Apocalypse tried to transfer his body into X-Man, Nathan Gray, and Cyclops stopped him by becoming that vessel instead. But because Cyclops is technically his son, is his father, but not fully. Genetically, it didn't work right. So basically, there was a fight with Apocalypse and Scott over control. Jean and Cable were able to find them and separate them back, and Scott was himself again, or so they thought. But that what they figured was his time as Apocalypse changed him, and that's why he kind of was in New X-Men, very much kind of wrestling with his emotions towards Jean, and Emma kind of took advantage of that. And then they started their psychic affair. And then what happened was at the end of New X-Men, Jean died fighting Magneto. So then Scott just continued his relationship with Emma until we get to the end of pretty much right before House of M starts. Okay, because House of M is pretty much a reboot.
Weren't they together during the Krakoa period and stuff?
That's House of M. That's what I'm saying. So basically, what happened?
That's House of M.
Yeah, that's House of X. My bad.
Okay.
House of X. I'm sorry, I misspoke. House of X is the Krakoa era. Okay, so Krakoa era, yes, Krakoa era was a reboot where pretty much it all kind of almost didn't wipe away, but they pretty much kind of cleaned the slate to be like, okay, some of this happened, some of it didn't.
It's a requel. It's not a reboot.
It's you know what they never really said
because it carried certain things from the past on.
Yes, they did, and they never clarified. And that's the thing I hate about the Krakoa era.
I mean, really, that's what about every comic does, especially like like Spider-Man. He's got 1,000 issues, so you can selectively pick what you want to remember.
Yeah, but anyways, that's when they got right before that is when Jean came back, and Cyclops had just come back from the dead, and Jean was back from the dead, and then they kissed at the end of this big old splash page, and that was the last we saw, because then we go into Krakoa era, and they're together.
They were together during Krakoa.
Yes, they were Krakoa. Yes, Krakoa. They were tight, and there was even a little hint that there was a little a three-way relationship with Wolverine.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, where like basically they were looking at the Summers house in Krakoa, and Wolverine's bedroom had a doorway into Scott and Jean's bedroom. Yes, people were like,
hey, "You want some of this psych?"
Well, even like because like so even like the regular because and even in the Krakoa when Emma and Scott would like talk, you could still see kind of their flirtation there a little bit, but the center of it was still Jean and Scott. They were together during that time frame, and they have been since. So they were always back together. My favorite thing about the new era is excuse me, post Krakoa, Jean's out in space doing like Phoenix stuff, right? And Scott is in Alaska with his team of X-Men, and the government's harassing him. And this is my favorite part, where like basically Scott's like, I know you want to kill me, but if you kill me, you're gonna have to deal with my wife, the Phoenix. And do you really want to piss her off? And he's like, yeah, kill me. See what my wife does. And I love that little like threat.
Wait till I tell my wife.
Exactly. It's kind of like exactly. It's kind of like how I am. Like hey, you don't want to mess with me because then you're gonna have to mess with my wife, and you don't want to mess with Lisa. Okay, so
she knows how to use needles.
Exactly. So anyway, so where are we going? Okay, so we're talking about how Emma, Charles, and Sinister are older, and the other ones are all younger to bring it all back. But I like this cast. I'm not familiar with some of them. The ones I am familiar with, I like as they're casting. I think we're going to get more casting, obviously, as time goes on. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with what we've gotten so far. I think this is only a tip of the iceberg of what we're moving forward. The director, as soon as they announced this guy as the director, Jake Schreier, when I watched Thunderbolts and what he did with those characters and the tone he had in that movie, I think it's a good tone for X-Men.
Yeah,
so
I can see that. But just remember, this is kind of like the third time out with this kind of formula, though, because we had First Class.
Yeah, they had the original team, then we had the First Class trilogy,
Apocalypse.
Yeah,
X-Men Apocalypse with all new X-Men.
Yeah, well, that's kind of because like right now I'm trying to go through the X-Men movies with Nora, my daughter, and I'm starting her on the original trilogy, and then I'm going to show her the prequel trilogy. I call it is what it is, and then then I'm not going to show her X-Men Phoenix because that's just horrible. I'm going to go if anything, I'm going to probably go. I'll go.
They have to know every part of the history. All right.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Because
this is like school all over again. You got to remember slavery.
Because really, the reason she wants to watch the X-Men movies is to get ready for Doomsday. And really, I think if we watch X-Men 1 and 2, because if we think about who we know is going to...
I heard Days of Future Past is a big integral part of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the only thing I definitely wanted to watch... If you were to tell me a couple movies that you might need to watch to prep someone for Doomsday, if it was an X-Men movie, I'd tell them probably X2 because Nightcrawler is going to be in Doomsday, and that's the only like X-Men movie that actor Alan Cumming is in for that. So I'd almost tell them to watch that too. But yeah, so going through the X-Men, I'm going to show her original trilogy, prequel trilogy. Since she does like kind of darker stuff, I might show her New Mutants as well. See if we go. But like I said, this whole thing for that is trying to get her ready for Doomsday. So I think we're going to run out of time because we still need to go through the MCU too, and I don't think we're going to get to everything. I'll tell you that, but we'll see. But I like the way it's starting. I like it's going.
Are you gonna go see Endgame?
Huh? Yes, I'm going to go see because they got new stuff in it. It's got new stuff.
I think I might have spoiled it for myself. There's a video clip online of what happens to Tony Stark at the end.
Oh yeah. Well, see, I try to avoid spoilers.
I wasn't gonna go see it anyway, but I was just like, man. I could see them doing that though. It probably will happen.
We'll see. Don't spoil it for me. I'll figure it out next month when I go see it in theaters. The last thing I was going to talk about with that is when they talked to the director, he said they're taking stuff from Claremont storylines, but also Jonathan Hickman, which is Krakoa era. And there's a big storyline in
Please don't make them clones.
But there is a big storyline in the Krakoa era with Mr. Sinister and kind of messing with everyone's genetics, which is what he does anyway.
That's all he wants. He just wants to watch Scott and Jean.
Yes, he wants them to fuck, and he wants the kid, is what it is, right? But there's a storyline in the Krakoa era where he goes around and he's kind of like, I don't want to say like, what is it, like deception? You know, he's playing everybody against each other. He's being mysterious.
Krakoa, for anyone that doesn't know, Krakoa kind of united every mutant.
Mutant, yeah. So even
Bad,
Apocalypse,
good, everyone. So they were all in council.
They were all
of course, Sinister.
The nation of Krakoa, and
Sinister was doing Sinister stuff.
And Sinister, exactly. And that's the thing is when you invite people like Magneto and Apocalypse and Mr. Sinister and Exodus into your nation to be on your council, you can't expect them all to just play nice.
That was pretty wild, though. I did read a little bit of that and everything, especially like they had like a teenage Apocalypse for a little bit too, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yes. And now Apocalypse is dead, and you have his heir is Doug Ramsey, aka Revelation. Yeah. He's they call him Revelation now.
Oh, he's Revelation.
They just had I don't know if you know this. They had the Age of Revelation storyline where Scott and Beast, their consciousness go to the future, where they find out that the heir to Apocalypse has ruined the future, and then their brains get to go back to the present, and they're supposed to stop that from happening.
So it's Days of Future Past.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, almost that. But like going with the knowledge of the future, go back to the past and change it. Except for instead of, being their future bodies going back to the past, there was their past going to the future. So
okay.
Either way, whatever. Yes, that's what we get. But any final thoughts on X-Men? What do you think, it could be? What do you think we're getting? What do you think more casting could be? Anything to kind of wrap it up here,
Pat? Kind of like what you were talking about the cartoon being too much. I think that's kind of the fine line they'll have to walk on, being too basic or too much.
Yeah, and I think too. When it comes to, I thought when they were going to announce Xavier or announce Charles, they were going to announce Charles and Magneto together, like as far as casting wise.
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't do that makes me think we're not getting Magneto. Do you think we're getting Wolverine?
I think it would be silly for them not to.
I think we could see Wolverine
at least a hint of him or something.
Yeah, I think we can. But I think I would be fine if we didn't get Magneto or Wolverine till the very end of the movie, or at least teased for the second movie.
Yeah, I remember, man, Magneto's in the first issue, dude. I mean,
yeah, I know. I mean, it's funny because when they started talking about how this movie, they were going to have the original X-Men in it, I immediately thought of this X-Men script that I wrote back in 2009. It was basically a mixture of the very first issue of X-Men in 1963, and then the first storyline of Ultimate X-Men, where like the first half of the movie was that first issue of X-Men where they fought Magneto at the missile base, and then the second part was Magneto taking over the Sentinels and going to the White House.
Okay.
Is what it was. Kind of what the script I had written for that. So, but yeah, anyway, but it was interesting. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Like I said, I think.
So you probably like that Days of Future Past at the end where Magneto went to the White House with the Sentinels, right?
Yes, that was very that was pretty much ripped out of Ultimate X-Men, exactly. So, yeah. But I like the casting. I have no problems with what I've seen so far. If I do have problems, I'm going to voice my opinion because I love X-Men.
Let's just hope this is the last stand of the Fox X-Men because I don't want to see them die again.
I am tired. And you know what? I am so tired of Charles dying. He's died 4 times. Yeah, like I'm tired of Xavier dying. I'm tired of all of them dying.
And then just not having any kind of explanation of why he's back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think again, that's what we need. I think this whole Doomsday Secret Wars is going to clear the slate, and there's just going to be the MCU. There's not going to be the Fox movies anymore.
Secret Wars. Secret Wars is going to be Battle Worlds.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, they're saying that's when the Hulk's going to appear.
I did see. I don't know if I don't think I showed you this on Twitter. Somebody put the picture of the guy playing Black Panther and the girl playing Storm next to each other, and they're like, they're so beautiful together.
Of course.
Which they are two very good looking people, and I would not mind seeing them together.
Yeah,
so
I mean, so what? Black Panther's coming out before X-Men, isn't it?
They're both 2028.
Okay.
They're both 2028, but I think we're gonna.
I could see her being in both.
But I think we're gonna get the new Black Panther in Secret Wars. I guarantee that.
Yeah. That's why they announced them already.
Yeah, exactly. I can see it. You know, it's funny because
probably Ghost Rider too.
All
of them.
I can't remember what the order is of them, because in 28 you get X-Men, Ghost Rider, and Black Panther, and I'm very curious if Black Panther comes out first. Will they introduce Storm in that before we get our X-Men?
Yeah.
So I don't know about that.
I did read Sacha Baron Cohen's coming back.
Yes, for Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
which is good. Yeah. I like.
That was the best part of Ironheart.
I liked Ironheart. I know I may be in a minority, but I liked Ironheart. I thought Mephisto at the end was a little odd, but I like how he played it, and I want to see him more in it. Yes.
Yeah, especially since they've been theorizing him since the very beginning.
Exactly, since WandaVision.
Yeah.
Exactly. So. All right, guys, let's wrap this up here. That is going to be it for us today. Our green lights are still on, so hopefully that means we've been both been recording this whole time.
Yeah. Be aware of my lantern power tomorrow.
Dude, and that's the thing. I was going to go back yesterday and rewatch X-Men 97 Season 2, but I was in such a Green Lantern mood, I watched a couple animated Green Lantern movies instead, is what it was. So an early reviews for Lanterns is out. They're good. I hope they're good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm going to reserve my opinion.
Exactly. I was going to go back and reread Secret Origins 2 this weekend. I'm not doing much the rest of the weekend, so I still might do that. And then, of course, I might put on the Ryan Reynolds movie too. I see as I was watching the other ones, the animated ones on HBO Max, I saw they had the extended cut on HBO Max.
Oh, yeah.
So it's only like 5 or 6 minutes. It's actually a little better as far as explaining story-wise, but it's, it's still what it is. But There you go. But that's it for us, guys. Fireback, of course. Let us know what you think about anything and everything we've talked about. Like I said, you can always find me on social media, Slim Dayspring 12 on Twitter and Instagram. You got the Facebook group as well, posting stuff there all week long. So go there and we can discuss all the topics that we don't talk about on here. And that's going to be it for us. Patrick, anything else you want to sign off on?
No.
Okay. A man of many words. I like it. So that's going to be it for us, guys. Until next time, may the force be with us all.